Welcome back to What's So Funny, where I talk to comedians and get to the bottom of what's so funny. Today I'm talking to Shannon O'Neill, who is an improviser and teacher at UCB, and we talk about the business, getting into improv, and all the fun stuff that comes with that. Right. Hello, Shannon.
Hello, Ryan.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Yourself?
Yeah, I'm doing great.
Great.
Yeah.
It's a nice cold day in New York.
I know, yeah. We've had some warm days and now we're ready for the cold again.
Yes, we're keeping on our toes.
Yes, exactly. So I am so excited to have you here. You are an incredible improviser, actor, teacher. Am I missing anything?
Dog owner.
Mm-hmm. My main question is, how does your pottery inform all of those things?
Oh my gosh, we're going right to my ceramics.
Yes.
I love it. Well, my ceramics, I started doing like 4 years ago. I can't remember, but and it was I did it in high school, and I loved art. I've always loved art, and I feel like there's always been things in my life that I've loved, just like animals, art, and comedy. And the art part of like making stuff kind of like fell away when I started doing more comedy stuff and acting. And then during the pandemic, I was like not improvising, so I just went and bought like cheap canvases at Michael's Crafts, any paint that was like acrylic paints that were on sale, and I just started like painting nothing, just like abstract, improvising paintings just to kind of do something.
Yeah.
And then as things opened up, I was like, I'd love to do pottery again because I did it in high school and I really loved it. And so I've lived in the same apartment for like over 20 years, and there's been a pottery studio in like 20 minutes walk. And I finally went and I signed up for a class, and I started to follow the rules so I could learn stuff. And then someone just mentioned that I could or I just kind of was like, wait, I don't have to make a cup look like a cup. And then I just started improvising and letting whatever I was throwing, like I throw on the wheel, and then letting that kind of like follow the fun.
Yeah.
So like you do an improv, just like following the fun. And so I would like make something, and then I think one time something fell off my wheel, and I was like, well, this is fun. I like how it's dented, and I dented it more, and then I carved in it more. So I usually most of the time start not knowing what's going to happen, like in an improv scene.
Yeah. Have you always kind of grown up with improv? What kind of brought that about in your life?
That was college. I went to I always loved comedy. I would always watch like Letterman was my my person, like as far as like someone that I watched every night. I also like growing up, so it was like I loved Letterman. I loved Bonnie Hunt, who was one of his guests all the time. If you don't know who Bonnie Hunt is, look her up. Very, very funny. She's had a few sitcoms. And like Rosie O'Donnell was doing stand-up back then, and Janine Garofalo. So I had all these people that I loved watching when they would pop up, or like the Ellen TV show, sitcom. But like late night talk show, like Letterman was like my real like love. And I went to college, and I studied like broadcasting, communications broadcasting, went for teaching, didn't do that, like elementary special ed, and I was like, I don't want to do that. And then I did broadcasting, which was like TV, radio, very DIY, which feels like everything I do is very DIY. And we went on a trip through this nerdy broadcasting association I was in college. Went on a trip to Chicago, and I knew that's where SNL people came from, and they went to Second City, and I was like, I want to check that out while I'm there. I didn't travel a lot back then, and so I saw a Second City show, and I was like, that's awesome. I want to try that. Moved to New York to work in television, like behind the scenes, signed up for a class at UCB, Upright Citizens Brigade Theater, and then that's where I basically was pretty much exposed for me doing improv for the first time. Did it like one day in an acting class in college. And of course I saw it at Second City. But yeah, day one of my UCB level 1 class, and I was like hooked.
Yeah.
And that was, in the year 2000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so exciting.
Yeah. It's pretty like, it's not, I think anyone, you can't really figure out like, what I'm going to end up doing. I look back and I'm like, wow, in high school, I would have never said, oh, I'm going to be doing improv comedy for 25 years. And it's going to be like a very big part of my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's actually kind of one of my questions of kind of thinking, at least also just thinking about your time in improv. Did you ever think that you were going to kind of become a teacher out of it? Did you think you were going to make a career out of it?
It all is just kind of, no. I mean, even like taking classes, I was taking them and having fun. And I mean, this was like the year 2000. This was before, actually, there weren't even auditions at that time.
Right.
Now, like, auditions are like this huge thing. You sign up and like, weeks in advance, and people stress out about it, which is all normal stuff. But for me, I was just like taking class. I was in a level, back then it was just like level 1. There was just level 1, 2, and 3. That's all they had when I first started. I think I was in my second level 3, and I got an email that said, you're on a Herald team.
Oh.
Yeah. That's how it
Wow.
worked back. That's how it worked back then. They had these teachers would get together and they'd say, oh, who do you from your class? Who have you seen? And teacher just was like, recommended I be on a team. And I got an email that said, you're on a team.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's how it was. It was so small. That's how it was back then. And so I never even, when I was taking classes, that was not an end goal of mine. I just loved doing it. It was like this fun thing that I did. And I liked comedy, and I had dreams of like working in TV, like behind the scenes, maybe like a writer for like a late night show or producing or something like that. And then all of a sudden I was performing, and then I was like, oh, this is fun. But I never was really, I mean, I was like a class clown and stuff, but I never was like, I didn't do theater because I always chose sports. And then, yeah, I started like performing, and then I didn't even really think about teaching because back then you would wait a while before you even like coached a team. And for people that know, like there's a lot of teams, and you hire a coach. It's kind of like hiring a director, but we call them coaches because you run practices and stuff. So people would ask me to coach, and I'd be like, oh, I can't. I've only been on like a team. Like, I haven't been on a team long enough. Like I wanted to get more experience before I even coached. So I think, so it was like I started classes in 2000, and I didn't have I started taking class in the year 2000, but I didn't start teaching until 2005. So it was like 5 years, which is a long time compared to what people do these days. And I didn't even think about it. Just someone asking me to coach. I was like, let me know, because I didn't think I was ready. And then finally started coaching, and I was like, okay. But I would learn from other coaches, and then I got offered to teach, to become a sub teacher. And I was like, whoa, like I didn't even ask to do it, but just someone said, oh, I heard you're good at coaching. Do you want to try teaching? And then that just turned into, then someone was like, do you want to run run the training center? And I was like, what? And then I was running the training center. And then I was like, it's just kind of like asked to do things, which is weird to say that I've never applied for a job at UCB. No, actually, I did apply for a job in the recent post-pandemic, and I didn't get it.
Well,
and it's okay. It's okay. But no, but I still teach, and I still, so. Yeah. It's all kind of like, just like fallen in my lap in a way, but it's like I've worked for it, not realizing I had worked for it.
Right. Yeah. That's just interesting, because I was just talking about kind of how one of the things that if you're in like a business of acting class or something, and they'll talk about like find someone whose career you like and you want to kind of follow that path, but I think it's sometimes so random, and it's not necessarily the path that everyone else is taking.
Yeah, I don't know like what to tell someone this is how you become X is like, there's no.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think in the acting, it's just like, I would even, Yeah.
It's both kind of hard work, and it's also just kind of luck and being in the right place at the right time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all part of it.
You used to be the artistic director at UCB. Kind of being in a place of like that, of like kind of managing things, how did that kind of inform your comedy or kind of how you saw improv or the business?
Being artistic director, you get to see behind the scenes how the things that you might have thought were possible, like as a performer, or like, why don't we have this? Why can't we do this? You kind of learn when you're behind the scenes of like the business side of like, oh yeah, we can't have you, throwing baby oil all over the stage because our insurance policy is like, we're not going to cover someone if they get hurt that way. You know what I mean?
Right.
So like there's all these things, like no one thinks about how when they're walking into a theater, it has insurance that covers performers. It has insurance that covers the audience. It has there's like all these things that like have to happen for someone to even get up on stage and like make a poop joke.
Yeah.
So like that kind of, it kind of like informed me in a way of the business side of it. I don't know that it informed my performance style. I think I still tried to maintain that. It definitely, I would say, shut my personal creativity down, and I had to, because all my energy was going into other people,
right?
And like not in, because that's the job of like an artistic director. Of like, I'm here to take care of all the performers and writers and the stage and the theater. Your job isn't to like, ooh, how can I take advantage for myself? That'd be a bad, in my opinion, way of approaching it. So I had no life. I think, I had things that I got to do. Like I was on a show called The Chris Gethard Show, and I was able to, but that was me being myself. So that was too hard. I think I maybe booked a couple things where I got to go act, but it wasn't, but my focus was a lot of like every day was like waking up, and it was like, all about like UCB, the community, and the people.
Right.
So it didn't inform me personally until I think after, where now I know, like I'd stepped down as artistic director, and then the pandemic happened, and then I was like, well, I know how to put a show on, so I could start, and I know that it's the efforts it takes to have a show run, because I ran a theater, so I know how like just getting one show to run is going to be a lot of hard work. So I was able to like, that helped me start the Sunday night show I do, which is Rat Scraps, which is an homage to ASCAT, the UCB flagship show, because that was essentially dead at one point.
Yeah.
And then it came back, which is great. But yeah. So like I had that skill set, and I can advise, like I kind of grew that producer, the producer side of me kind of like got really strong when I was artistic director, where I would, when at this Chris Gethard show, the show I did where I was, just playing myself. It's like a hybrid talk show. I could be there on set during rehearsal and be like, oh, someone's going to get hurt if we do this. And like my producer hat would be put on. And I'd be like, oh yeah, good call, Shannon. We're like, that wasn't my job, but I'm like always looking to put fires out before they start. Which I think sometimes probably hindered some of the old days of UCB, when people would just truly just like fuck around, and like you get away with a lot. But to the point where as something gets bigger, the bigger it gets, the more responsible it is for like those like safety measures and all that stuff that are very important. So I'd be like, yeah, I can't, like, yeah, I know you want to, what was it? I think Connor Ratliff and JD Amato. Connor's a fellow improviser and good friend. JD is also an improviser, but he's a director, showrunner type guy. But they had a podcast called the 12-Hour Podcast, where they literally would record a 12-hour podcast, walking around the city, all sorts of stuff. And they wanted to sit in a window at our UCB Chelsea stage before that went away. And that had a big window, like this big display window, like street level. And like, we want to sit in there. And I was like, well, it gets really hot and disgusting in there, like to the point where like you could get like, you could have like heat stroke or something.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, yeah, that's okay. And I'm like, no, it's not okay. Like, we can't do this anymore. Like, I can't have someone die on our watch. Like, I know, like, you want to be all, like, cool and fun, but, like, you can't do that. So, like, that kind of, like, I had to, like, kind of, like, shut some ideas down. And that kind of, like, felt like, oh, I wish I could. I mean, they found other ways to, like, play around. And maybe they waited till it was cooler when they did it. I forget what they did. But yes, that kind of like the more you know, the safer. I think the more of a buzzkill I would become. But I had to, protect the people too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And now you can't bring the baby oil in.
Yeah, I mean, that didn't stop people. But yeah, there'd be a lot of apologies. And I'd be like, you didn't realize it'd be hard to clean up baby oil? It's always ask for forgiveness, not permission. Yeah.
On the business side, and I do really like hearing about kind of becoming a producer, because I don't know if this is kind of a post-pandemic thing, but you really kind of need to be your own producer in order to make shows possible.
Yeah.
In order to kind of do anything for yourself that you want to be doing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I think that was a big thing that I learned when coming here, that it's because I mostly just have a background in acting, and so coming in and having to kind of set up my own things, not just auditioning for others, I think is a big thing to learn to be able to kind of make your own stuff.
Yeah, you have to. You can't wait around.
Yeah.
I mean, again, I know that my career at the UCB Theater, I've been like very lucky where, again, I got an email that was like, you're on a team. But eventually I had to re-audition because of, teams getting broken up and all that stuff. So I did have to go through an audition process eventually. And that was like very stressful, and it was like good to have gone through that. But I've been very lucky of like then being on like really good teams, and then being asked to join a weekend team, the Stepfathers, and then being asked to run ASCAT. And like, so I've been very lucky that I have been able to like consistently be a part in like improvising and doing even like Maud. I did an audition for a Maud team. I was asked, the artistic director just was like, do you want to be an actor on a Maud team? And I was like, yeah, like I never auditioned for that, that's crazy because I like, that's what people do that.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh wow, I never even auditioned for that. So I've been very lucky in that, but it's not that you can't. I also know that like I can't rely on that. Like if you want something, you have to. Yeah, you want to do a show, you just can't wait for someone to offer it to you. You have to like develop the idea. You have to know that it might not work.
Yeah.
I know like Connor Ratliff's George Lucas talk show. He was doing that at different venues around the city, like prepping it, trying to figure out like what worked, what didn't before he even like brought it to UCB. So I think people have to like, there's other things you can do in the city. And even if like UCB had said no to him, I know he would have kept doing it elsewhere. Like you have to, you got to find out where are the theaters. Yeah, you're going to have to pay sometimes out of pocket. Like they have to, cover their costs.
Yeah.
There's like certain situations like I don't know how the other theaters work, but like, now I can like I put up a show at UCB once a month, and I know that you have to reach a certain threshold in order to make any money off it. So it's like, and it's that's hard to do. But I know that like, well, I'm going to put in my efforts of like producing and promoting it and all that stuff, and if I get stuff back, that is bonus. But I still have the joy, like I still get the joy out of like doing the show. So while I want to make money, because that means it's doing well for the theater, and then it does well for the cast, like you still got to be like, am I having fun doing this?
Right.
Like I don't want, people don't want to like go into debt like hundreds and hundreds of dollars, but yeah, it's a city. Yeah. You and everyone else are trying to like, it's, hit the pavement. You gotta, it's hustle. What do you want to do? Like you gotta, because everyone else is also promoting their shows. Yeah, and there's a lot more comedy venues, especially like improv venues now, than I think there ever, were before.
Right.
So
when you kind of made, or what was that transition like between kind of doing it for fun and then kind of doing it for a career?
I kind of still do improv. It is still for fun.
Yeah.
But I also take it in that like seriously because I want to keep being able to do it. So it isn't just it's not like I'm like having fun doing it, but I'm also like I don't take it for granted because it's so lucky that I'm basically just like working out my performance muscles like every week, sometimes twice a week, sometimes 3 times a week, and that's not a lot of people get to do that. You think of like actors that are going on, like they don't get to just go act every, like Sunday for a couple hours. They have to audition for something. They got to write something. They got to put it up. So it's like I get to keep my performance muscles in check. But I guess it's more of like the transition of I think more of like the idea that I get to teach is like a really important, fun thing for me, because that is more of like I'm staying in the area of performing, helping other people. Any of it I think was ultimately scary because I have had 9-to-5 jobs that then went away, and then it was like, oh, now what am I going to do? And now like I teach a lot, and it's like, what do I do if what would I do if teaching stops? And it's just like, well, I'll figure it out, because that's like the improviser in me is like, I'll figure it out. I try not to worry about what's happening next. I try to like stay in the moment. What I got now, this is fun. Let's like enjoy it. I didn't answer your question, Ryann.
That's okay.
What was the question? Wait, what is the question
appreciated
again?
it.
Wait, what's the question again?
What was the transition like between kind of doing it, maybe not as for fun, but kind of as like a side gig, and now kind of as a career?
I guess it's like maybe there. What if we can find another word besides transition? Because it's just been a part of my life. I don't know where the transition is. I mean, there's moments of like before the pandemic, a lot of it was truly you're doing it for the fun, because there was no money. So I would do Stepfathers every Friday, ASCAD every Sunday, 2 shows, and there was no money. That was really like, that was the love. That was also like, ooh, I'm doing a show on Friday that sells out and a show on Sunday that sells out. And then that helps subsidize the shows during the week that don't make a lot of money. And I used to be someone that did those shows. So it's kind of like me paying back to like the community.
Okay.
So, and that was totally fine for me. I know maybe not for everyone, but like for me, I was like, this makes sense for me, because I'm like giving back to the community, and this theater is existing because we're just kind of like, the money coming in is going back in, is coming in and going back in. And so like I'm helping to give someone a chance on a Thursday night or Wednesday night at like 11 o'clock to find their voice and mess up and screw around in a positive way like that. But now, post-pandemic, now there is money, the new system. You do make money, so it hasn't changed how I perform necessarily. But it is different in that I think that pressure is now there more for like a show that I do on Thursdays, like once a month on Thursdays. Like I do feel a bit more of that pressure of like to get those numbers up, because no one is subsidizing it.
Right.
And so there has been like a transition that way. And there were also moments in like 2016 and 2018, I did a show at the Woolly Mammoth Theater, which is down in Washington, D.C. We did like a couple 3-week runs of improv shows down there. And that went from people in New York, people were paying at the time like anywhere from like five to maybe it was like 7. We'll just say 5, like $5 to like $15. And now we were going down and doing an improv show in DC where people were paying like $70. And so that felt like different.
Yeah.
It was like, oh boy, like this is us doing like a standalone show where like we're all getting paid to do it. And there's people paying $70 to see improv.
Right.
Like that was nuts in my brain. I was like, this is crazy. And then at the end they'd be like, we loved it. And I was like, okay, yeah, we gave you I think we did give you $70 worth of like, because it wasn't just like montage stuff. There was like a form and like a performance to it, but that can feel weird, like when there's like a price tag added to it, and I'm like such a basement rat. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I answered it again, but I did.
No.
I just talk.
No, I appreciate it. Going to teaching, how has that informed things? What have been some surprising things that you found through teaching?
Well, I'm definitely like a different teacher now than I was when I started. I feel like I'm a better person because of teaching, because you just get exposed to so many different voices and people than I would just in like my everyday life, or even just like at UCB, because like not because I have like my teams, my shows, and so I am like a little bit limited there in like the performance stuff. But in class, there's like it's diversified a lot since I started teaching in like 2005, where it was, yes, a lot of, I'm assuming, a lot more cis white straight men. We didn't really use the word cis back then, but yeah, it was very much like more like white guys, like compared to a lot of as many women. Definitely not as many of like people of color. There was, I mean, like like the LGBTQIA plus, like that was a little bit better because we were in like the Chelsea, but it was probably more like gay men. But it was, and also like I wasn't really like paying attention to that stuff. But then as we go, you do start to pay attention a little bit more because you're like, oh, who are these voices? And I've become a better person. I feel like the students have all helped me become a better teacher, because you can't just go in and be like, this is how I teach, and I'm going to teach that way to all of you. It's more like, I like to think of like I have a teaching style that I can adjust for different students.
Right.
Because like there's one student that's going to be like, that wants harder notes. There's one that's like not going to like respond to like a super hard note, but they need it like given in a different way. Someone, might need to be, you have a lot of some ELL students, like, like English is their second language. So that's something you have to consider. You have someone that might be, has like neurodivergent students. So I can't just approach everyone the same way, but I need to collectively teach the class all the same stuff. So I've learned to kind of put on different hats within the classroom without hopefully like people like it becoming like so apparent, or that no one is getting ignored, that everyone gets as, I want everyone to learn all the curriculum, but keeping track of like, oh, they haven't stepped out. Let me make sure that they step out. They're stepping out too much. I'm gonna ask them to chill out a little bit so other people can. So it's like you gotta like just kind of like it's prop work. It's it's like you have a lot of different voices and minds.
Yeah. And
there's no support. Like there's not like a guidance counselor that's coming in and saying like, oh, just Ryan has a needs special attention, has like a learning, an LD, so we're going to do this program for Ryan. It's like, It's just adults, and I got to figure it out. Yeah. And I'm not, and no one's coming in and saying, oh, just, I am this, that. Some students do tell me, they're like, oh, I just want you to know that, like, I'm like autistic, and I have whatever this number, I forget what it is. And so sometimes being direct is like what I need to learn. I'm like, great, thank you for telling me. But not everyone's going to tell me that. So teaching has, just made me very much more empathetic to everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and also learning, I think an important thing as a teacher is I am teaching the same curriculum to every 301 class and everyone 201 class. And the same things are happening in all those classes. So so it's like, oh, guess what? This exercise, there's certain ones where I can say, I'm probably going to start you over a few times and just know that that's normal. So that like they know ahead of time, like, oh, this is a normal thing that happens. Yeah. Or like I give a note like 3 or 4 times to the same person, and then they apologize. I'm like, no. Like this is every 301 class, I give that note to people a half a dozen times. Like this is all normal stuff. Like it's like letting people know, and then I know that, so I'm not like, it doesn't drive me nuts that I have to remind people of base reality, or remind people when to avoid asking questions, because that's my job. And it's a cool job. Yeah. Because I also get to laugh all the time.
Yeah. Because I've had you as a teacher twice now, I think. And I remember in my 101 class with you, I think you it was pretty early on, but you mentioned that we were going to have a performance, and someone kind of went, we're not ready for that. Or she was like, I'm not ready for that. And you just went, no, I'll get you there.
Yeah.
And it was so, it put me so at ease. And I went, oh, okay. Yeah, we got it.
Yeah. I know you hear day one performance of a 101 and you're like, how?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then you can look back at like that first class, and then you even get to like class 6, and it's like, even the end of class 1, when people are like starting to like do like tiny, tiny scenes, it's like, look what y'all did in this 3 hours. Like, that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a pretty cool thing to watch people grow like that, which is like, I love that.
Yeah, I'm sure. And I grew up in a family of teachers, so I know I've heard a lot of their stories.
Yeah.
I'm curious if you have any just like fun stories.
I'm sure
exciting moments.
Do.
I know it's very open-ended.
It is. I mean, I have, when someone like verbally has a brain click, like something clicks, I really love that when someone goes, oh, like I'm like, this is very cool. I mean, just like not specifics, but I really enjoy like giving. I mean, it's very much like a selfish thing because it's like, oh, I helped it, but it's like when someone gets a note and then they're able to like in the moment like adjust, and then like, oh, okay, I get it. I mean, I love when I haven't taught a 101 in a while. I actually get to teach one next week, but like if I have students from like in a 201 and they come back to a 301, or even like that I had in a 101 and now they're in a 301 with me, like just seeing, I can see their growth from like that class to that. And that's always really cool to see. I've had, this was a very long time ago, but I had a student, and she had been in the States for like 6 months. She'd come from Japan, and she was so funny, and already so funny because often, anecdotally, like someone who's like English is their second language, they're gonna just react honestly because it's just it's like the language, they're hearing this, and it's like natural reaction. And sometimes the most honest reactions in an improv scene are very funny because that's all it is just like truth. And she had a translator, and she just kept it in her boot. And then when she needed to like translate a word, she would type it in and be like, oh, okay. And she was sitting next. She often sat next to me so I could help give her like say what like a word meant, or like try to give it different words to help explain it. And a scene was happening, and she typed it in, and she goes, oh, sorority, like sorority, like she kind of like understood what sorority meant. And I'm just like trying to imagine like what is the translation of sorority to any other language. It's like a group of women who get drunk, are mean to each other to be friends. And she was just like, yeah, so funny. But after the performance, she told me she was really funny in the 101 show, which I don't remember a lot of shows, but she like said to me that she had prepared some stuff, and I was like, oh, well, okay. It didn't seem like it, but something about like meat puppets or something. And I was like, oh, that meat puppet thing was really funny. And she's like, oh, I thought of it yesterday. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, we don't want to do that, but I'll allow it. I'll allow it this one time.
Okay.
It's 101. You've been in America for now 8 months, so I'll let you. Yeah, she was really fun. And some people like pulled her and did some like video sketches with her. And this was like, I'm saying video sketch because it was like early YouTube, or even like maybe like before YouTube.
Right.
You'd like host it on your own website. Yeah, that was a really fun one. I had a legit supermodel in class. I won't say her name. She was great, but I don't need to blow her up. Like legit, like there's only so many people that are labeled a supermodel, you know? And I didn't realize she was a supermodel until the person that was running the school was like, oh, Shannon, this is, and they're you have the supermodel so-and-so. And I was like, what? I don't know who this person is. I had to look it up. Very unassuming, like a tall, very like lovely lady, didn't have her makeup on, very, pretty, but makeup, all, that makeup does all that contouring and stuff. And was just coming in jeans and t-shirts and all that stuff. And this is back in the day, and she was game, but there was a scene where I think like she was like an animal, and then another student was like another animal, like, and they were like they were like having like butt sex, and so that guy was like having like fake improv butt sex, and I was like, he has no idea that's a supermodel. Like, this is nuts right now.
That's kind of a zoom out moment.
Yes, that guy has no idea, right? Because and that was a very funny. I wouldn't have allowed that to happen now. This was like 2000 and like what was it? It was like 2006 or 2007. That was like a very like, this is just so crazy. Yeah.
I do, and I just really admire in your classes just you're getting excited and you are discovering things in classes too.
Yes.
Which I just love.
Yes. I love when I can like come up with a new exercise to help some sort of like new way of like how brains think. So it's like, oh, this isn't gonna, how can we make this a little bit more challenging? And then I can just like add adjustments to it that like might not be written in how you do badada, but I'll add something new to badada. And it also does kind of change it up for me, so like I can make it exciting, and then for people. Yeah. I love teaching's fun.
All right, I have some questions that I ask everyone.
Okay, great.
And the goal of these is by the end of it, we will know the secret to comedy.
Okay, amazing. Yeah. We're going to do it.
So first of all, what is something that made you laugh growing up?
Ooh, making my mom laugh would make, the first thing that comes to my mind is you would get, people calling to sell something. And so I would answer it. And my mom and I, our voices sound very like, I would answer and people would be like, Pam? And I'd be like, no, let me go get my mom. Or they would be like, Shannon to my mom, and my mom would be like, oh no, let me go get her. And then I'd say hello. They're like, why are you playing pranks on me? So I would answer and people would just think I was the adult of the house, even when I was a kid. And I would love just to pick up the phone. And it would be someone saying like, oh, hi, I want to sell you like, a subscription to the newspaper. And then I would just do some stupid bit, I'd be like, oh, I don't even remember. I guess I'm like a kid. So I'd probably say something like, do you want to come to the house and you can read the paper to me? Like I would, whatever, like do some stupid bit. And my mom would just like start laughing. So if I could make like my mom laugh, I love doing that. I loved being like, I was kind of like a prankster. So I loved, there's one time my friend Holly Ann, we're still really good friends. We would walk in the hallway and we'd be walking together and there'd be like a class in session. And every now and then we would try and do these tricks where I would just like quickly like grab one of her books out of her hand. I would just throw it into a classroom. So she had to like go and get it. It's like harmless, silly things. Yeah. And would make me laugh. Yeah. I don't know. It hasn't made me laugh as a kid. Yeah.
Something kind of similar. What was the first big laugh you remember getting? Was it from your mom?
Probably. Or I got a big laugh and then I got quickly shamed. It was I guess like what's like a core memory? It was fourth grade and the class, no, fifth grade. It was fifth grade and there was 2 fifth grade classrooms. No, there's 3 fifth grade classrooms, but 2 of them had like one of those walls that you could like collapse. So you'd like fold it and then it'd be like one big room. So all the fifth graders had gathered and we were there to watch a movie. I want to say it was like 1776. Maybe it was like a movie. It was like some historical movie we were supposed to watch. And I think it was Thomas Jefferson basically going into his house with his slave. But I did not compute that in my whatever fifth grade brain exactly like how effed up that was. I just knew it was a man and a woman going into a house. And I just went like, ooh, I said something like, uh-oh, boom, boom time. And everyone just started laughing. And the teacher was like, Shannon? And like instantly like made me feel like an asshole. But that was a really big laugh.
Yeah.
That was a big laugh.
And you still remember it.
Yeah, I still remember it. And I was like, well, some people aren't going to find my humor funny, and I can't let that stop me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, well, all the kids, well, my point was to make the kids laugh, and that's what happened. Yeah.
What is something that's making you laugh right now?
I mean, as far as like media stuff, like Shrinking really makes me laugh. That writing is so funny. I've enjoyed the show Rooster, which is out now. Obviously, Tim Robinson stuff is so good. I haven't watched, I mean, he hasn't had a new thing out in a while. But as far as like comedy, like stage stuff, I've started coaching a Herald team at UCB in November, and I haven't coached a team in a very long time. And they have made me laugh in a way that like I'm exposed to this like all these like weirdos, and I love weirdos. And they're all just like a bunch of weirdos and have such silly brains. So like what's making me laugh is I think just like watching people have a lot of enjoy other people. So they're all very funny, but the first thing is coming to mind is this guy Levi Friedman, and he will make a move, and then it makes like and I'll see like the back line, people in the back line are like giggling, and then when he is on the back line and someone does something, like he giggles. So like, and they all have like there's like people like that have like they all have like really good like laughs and giggles and stuff. So it's like really fun to like just hear people. I laugh at people enjoying other people because it's like just so fun just to. Because they're friends. It's like your friends making you laugh is like the funniest, most fun that could happen. Yeah, people are making me laugh.
And that's wonderful. Yeah. And finally, and most importantly, what's the secret to comedy?
The secret to comedy for me is letting yourself fail and letting yourself grow, also enjoying other people. Like I think the secret to comedy is to truly like you have to enjoy comedy. Like if you only enjoy yourself, you're not gonna succeed. So I think you really need to like look and be inspired by other stuff, and by that, get outside your bubble, feed your well, learn about the world.
Right.
Yeah. If you want to. Don't just watch comedy to do comedy. Which is like why I was thinking, I was like, wait, I don't know if I watch a lot of comedies.
Yeah. That's usually an answer.
Yeah.
People are watching other stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think the comedies I do watch are like, besides Tim Robinson, which is like not grounded, but so funny. Like that's like a comedian. There's like real, like, just like nice real life attached to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I was telling some students the other night, maybe it was like last night, I was like, feed your well. You don't know how to fly a plane. You're never probably going to fly a plane or be a pilot, but like watch a documentary on something you don't want to know about, because that's going to come in and you'll be able to use that in your comedy.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Shannon.
Yay, thank you, Ryan. This has been lovely.
Good. I'm glad.
Yes.
It's been wonderful to have you.
Your apartment's very nice.
Thank you. Yes, I sleep right here.
Doesn't spin.
Oh,
doesn't spin.
Oh, and that's Hollywood magic for you.
Doesn't spin.
Oh.
Doesn't spin.
No.
Wait.
What's the point of a globe?
It's not even connected. Okay.
Is it? I think it's a bar, technically.
Oh, is it?
I think so.
Oh.
Hell yeah.
That's fun. Okay.